How is it that Billy or BJ wants to deny knowing about what you and I firmly believe in? Like, it blows my mind. Like, he literally denies knowing about Joe Hendry.
Well, so here's the thing. BJ's an old man, older than you, surprisingly. And he can be stubborn.
Denial.
He knows Joe Hendry. The problem is he doesn't believe in Joe Hendry.
Here we go. Hey, hold my beer.
And now...
You ever considered voice acting?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
I think you and I could both do it well.
But I also don't hear myself the way you hear me. Like, I hate my voice when I hear it.
Why?
I don't know. It's weird.
Oh, that's crazy. Your voice is deep and
But when I hear it, I don't hear deep. I hear like it's almost like I hear myself going through puberty again because I hear high pitches every once in a while. That's kind of weird.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, when you get worked up, you go higher, but just your normal like talking voice is very like low and bassy. And so that's why I'm saying, like, I think voice acting, you could do that pretty good. I think it's something that I'm pretty good at too. But it's something I've considered, like, you know me, I kind of want to do a million different things.
Oh yeah.
But I think you've got the range for it.
Easy.
Yeah, it does, man. Like, all you have to do is soundproof stuff and like read with range and creativity. So like change your voice up, change your tone, change your pitch, change your pace. I mean, yeah. Read it 20 different ways and give it inflection and give it character and have fun with it. So
rock.
I think you could do it.
No, okay. I was just making sure I had the. Oh, yep. But no, yeah. Actually, I guess we could start this off with. I'll show you. Okay, so when I tell you, okay, if I said the two words together, cringe Christians. What
cringe
comes to mind?
What? Say
Cringe
that again.
Christians.
Cringe
what comes
Christians. Dudes that toss their friends out of their house for cussing.
Okay, this beats that by a mile.
By a mile. Okay.
By a mile.
Hang on. Christians that won't let their kids read Harry Potter because it's got witchcraft in it.
Okay, so like that, you're thinking more along the lines of like a more personable, like things that you've actually ran into. Okay.
Oh gosh.
Now why I asked that is because like, what's the wildest thing you've seen somebody do to look different in a church? I guess, like, say it's like a worship service.
You mean like physically, like?
Yeah. Dude,
oh, okay. So you mean like Pentecostal? You mean like animated, chaotic,
or even like televangelism, like stuff like that. Like they do different things to kind of like bring in an audience or bring in more views to their church. When I show it to you, you're gonna be like, "Oh wow."
Okay. All right. Let me see it.
All right, here we go. You ready?
As we move with God, His power lies within.
That's definitely
Giving us the strength to conquer and to win. We've got all the enablements, His love and grace provides.
Now watch him.
Now we put that truth within our hearts and walk with all God's might.
Look at those moves. Oh my.
It ain't done.
This is a dude who definitely spent most of his childhood watching Michael Jackson dance. That is a dude that definitely watched a lot of Michael Jackson dancing, maybe even some Usher.
It's borderline creepy.
That is commitment to the bitmit.
Wow.
Oh
But
my
yeah.
goodness.
So the reason why when I saw the word cringe in that the heading of it, I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, that's disturbing. Funny, not producing the gospel much. I can tell you that much. So,
have you ever heard that song?
Producing a lot of comedy moments.
Yeah.
But
Like
not a whole lot of gospel
I think they came out
conversations.
pre-internet too.
Oh, that's definitely pre-internet.
Or pre-meme.
I was gonna say like Usher at first, and then I was like, nah, dude, this dancing's like even older because this video feels like it's from the 90s, which means this dude's watching Michael for sure. This dude absolutely watched Michael Jackson videos all through his like teenage years.
Of Rush Hour.
A lot of what?
Rush Hour.
Oh, Rush Hour wouldn't even have been out when that video came out, dude. That was easily mid-90s.
Right. I mean,
you
the first
see that
Rush Hour came
decor?
out like 97, 98 probably, didn't it?
I don't think so. I think Rush Hour was 99.
I thought the first one was pretty early.
No, maybe it was.
Because like that's when
We always do this, man. We always get into
like the second one was the one where he actually showed like the Michael Jackson skills.
98 Rush Hour. First one is 98.
Second one's probably 2000.
2001, and then 2007 for Rush Hour 3.
And I
That's
liked
crazy.
it. It wasn't bad. Like I didn't
6
hate it.
years later for Rush Hour 3?
It's not like Boondock Saints, 20 years.
Bro, I cannot wait. Cannot wait. They've been saying for a while now that the three of them are getting together and the movie's happening, but it just keeps taking
They're waiting until
forever.
that 19th and a half year.
Everybody's famous now. That's the problem.
Well, I mean, it didn't help that he blew up during Walking Dead.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Willem
I don't know
Dafoe's
what the other
been
guy.
phenomenal.
No, I'm talking about the guy before. Well,
Sean.
Willem Dafoe wasn't even in the second one, was he?
Yeah, Willem Dafoe's in both of them.
I thought he was just in the first one as the detective. The second
He's in
one,
the second one.
He was?
He's in the second one.
It's been a minute
Not
since I've seen
long.
the second
Not
one.
long. He's at the end.
Oh, so he's kind of
Cameo at the end.
so he's just playing into the
It unifies
possible
him,
third
though.
one.
He just wasn't available for,
A whole movie.
yeah.
He's
whole
probably
movie.
filming John Wick.
Who knows? I don't know what was being filmed back then. That would have been 2013-ish. Because I remember going with college buddies to see that. So 2011 then. Maybe even
'cause
2010.
It was 20 years to the year because the first one came out in 2000. Or, no, 99. Wasn't it?
I don't know.
Or maybe it was 10 years. I said 20. I think it was 10 years.
2009 is when Boondock Saints 2 came out.
And the first one came out in 99.
99, yep.
Yeah. So
So
10 years. My bad.
10 years.
20.
So 2019 would have been the time to do number 3. Not making us wait till 2024 and beyond. Let's go, guys.
Yeah.
Sean Patrick Flannery, not
I
as
saw he's
famous
got
as
a
the
movie.
other two.
And he's got
He's
a
not as
movie.
famous as the other two, but he does have a movie. It's not bad.
The one that's paying tribute to the Walking Dead character?
Oh, no. I was talking about he's got one where he plays a gosh, is he the criminal or is he the it's been a while since I've seen it. He's either the criminal or he's the psychiatrist. I can't remember, but it's kind of this one-on-one and like it's a very like cerebral movie. It's good though. Kind of psychological.
Either way, Boondock Saints was amazing.
Boondock Saints is amazing. Boondock Saints 2 is amazing. Boondock Saints 3 will be amazing when it's finally done.
Is the
and
older guy
released.
still alive? The guy that plays her dad?
Yeah.
Well,
You're
because he's
asking
dead. Doesn't he get killed in the second one?
Does it?
Yeah, he gets shot, and they
Yeah.
spoiler alert if you haven't seen it. I mean,
I know,
15
right?
years. Come on.
Billy Connolly as an actor is not dead now.
Yeah, I mean, I think when I see people with like his age,
No, it's Rocco. Rocco
died in the first one. Rocco died in the first one. Yeah, because that's
Rocco
when
dies
he
in the
finds
first
out
one.
that those are his sons.
They have the kind of like ethereal ghost meeting with Rocco in number 2. That's right. But Il Duce.
Well,
Anyway. Billy Connolly is alive and well as far as I know. But it would be nice to see him, but you're right. I'm pretty sure his character died at the end of 2.
Well, I don't know
Spoiler alert, but then again, it came out in 2009, so get with
15 years
program,
ago.
people.
If you haven't seen it, then that's your fault.
Yep.
It's almost like finding out that.
And if not, then there is plenty to love about those movies, and we haven't nearly spoiled anything.
Yeah.
So watch them and
just the first
fall
one
in love
is amazing.
with
like the way that
watch them both, dude. They both
I'm
have
saying like
charm.
the first one is so
the first one's iconic. It's a cult classic. 2 builds upon the goodness of 1. I don't know that it does anything.
Doesn't do anything
magical
to, like,
or
add
unique.
To the first one. Like,
it doesn't do anything magical
story.
or unique. It just kind of builds around it and does fun stuff. So you kind of get more, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I really think 3 is going to be a chance for all of them now that there's some weight to the names, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
That 3 releasing will come not just with the fandom, but with a whole bunch of other people.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, look how many people got the same tattoos as them. I mean, that alone, like,
dude, that to be fair, the back-to-back guns tattoo is like the coolest look. Like, I love the Boondock Saints 2.
Do you know what kind of guns those were? I think the one that Rocco's one shooting in that strip club.
Oh gosh, yeah. This is the director's cut. This is actually one I've considered like as a tattoo. I thought this would be a really cool one. Where you've got the Veritas and Aquatas.
Yeah, that's one that I was talking. Oh, you mean the one that's right there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because that by itself, like, everybody got just those words alone. Like,
I like the words. I like the words, but I've also seen, and I'm trying to remember what it is.
The first Boondock Saints, like, the cover of that was the guns pointing at, like,
that's the guns
towards
pointing
each other.
Towards each other. I swore there was one where the guns are pointed like this.
Oh, staggered
Next to each other, but like facing away from each other. But I can't remember what that is. I thought that was Boondock Saints too, but
there's probably so much art that came out of that show. But what's funny is that in the first one, when Rocco's in that like that stripping like weird thing where he kills those dudes that are sitting in there watching the women.
Oh yeah,
a lot of people were like, "Dude, that is so cool." It's like, yeah, but that would never happen with the guns that he's shooting because of the type of gun it is. Did you see what it was? The Desert Eagles.
I try not to get too lost in the continuity stuff like that.
No,
my favorite.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. What were you saying?
Well, no. What's funny about it? It's not just the fact of what type of gun it is. The caliber of gun that it's supposed to be is a 50 cal, and he's shooting them across his body.
Oh yeah. The rope scene will forever be my favorite.
The rope scene?
Yeah.
Where
they drop down from the ceiling.
Oh yeah. That was dope.
And it's like, you and your stupid rope. And it's just them, like, the chaos. I think that's what makes one so much fun is
it's almost a
there's
comedy.
Chaos to every hit that they do.
Oh yeah.
And so it's like, you can tell they're winging it, but at the same time, everybody thinks these guys are professionals. And it's just,
And I've
That's
had
the
people
humor of it, man.
I've had people get upset with me because I made this statement like really early on, and I said Willem Dafoe is the one who made that first one even more comical. Like
100%.
nobody agrees
100%.
with me.
His full
Except for you.
sell of that character and its quirkiness
Oh
is
yeah,
absolutely what makes that whole movie. Like, if that movie were just about the boys, it would be an okay
mediocre.
movie.
It'd be
But
mediocre.
it's about the, well, no, I wouldn't say mediocre. I'd give it a B. I'd call it above average. But it wouldn't be the cult classic that it is because you have the pursuit of these guys, these amateurs, by these professionals. And then ultimately, what I love is the conviction by Willem Dafoe to see these guys as folk heroes
Yeah.
and to recognize that they're doing God's work. And it's like it's the whole thing is just
His comical relief is what I appreciated. Like where like the
Yes.
cops were like, "Hey, can they stay the night?" He was like, "I don't know. Y'all have to ask Mom if they
yeah,
can stay over."
his wittiness, he played like I will 100% admit he played up gay stereotype really, really strongly.
Oh
But
yeah.
he sold it as a strong character, not as a weak character.
Mhm.
And that's what I think makes it so like reasonable and makes it a good performance, is because sure, it's stereotypical, but it's not like mocking or manipulative. It's
No.
in, I don't want to say empowering, but in it's meant to showcase it strongly, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I think he sells the wittiness of his character perfectly, and then the extremes he's willing to go to use that character's wit and creativity and sell the comedy aspect of the show was
Oh,
just good.
I didn't ever think Willem Dafoe was ever a funny guy until I saw that. I was like, wow.
Moving into like when he goes into the house and he's kissing the dude and like
dressed up like the
the
woman.
wig falls off. Yeah, like all of that whole scene is like it's definitely awkward. It's weird.
Oh yeah.
But the humor of it is just the fact that it's like the extreme he's willing to go to save the boys when like I don't know, it's the flip. You know what I'm saying? It's the flip, and it's reasonable for the character. That's why he gets away with it. But it's the flip from being the detective chasing them to being the hero saving them, if that makes sense.
Well, yeah. I mean, you see that in that scene after the big shootout at that house, and he finds the finger, or was it the ear that fell off of Rocco?
Yeah.
Wasn't that his ear?
Yep.
Yeah. And he doesn't tell anybody about it. He just puts it away, and he wants to find out who they are because he wants to be a part of that.
Yep.
So, but no, I love the movie. And
It's
I
a good
didn't see
movie.
it till the first one. I didn't see till probably 5 years after that, after it was actually made.
Really?
Yeah.
Did we
Because-
never watch that in high school?
I didn't watch it in high school. I didn't watch it until I would say probably the year that we graduated.
I may not have been introduced to it until college. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it might have even been college. It might have even been when I was at Barton in Great Bend.
Yeah.
I don't know. But hey, how you been, bud?
Good. How about you?
We got ahead of ourselves.
Yeah. It's chaotic right now. Let me just put it that way. We in 4 days sell our house and close on it. So we are packing and moving. Like it's real. Like I was down at the U-Haul today buying another storage unit. Hopefully that'll be enough space because all they had was a 10 by 15, not a 10 by 20. But we've got most of our stuff out, so I think we're going to be okay. But we're packing and getting everything out of here, and then we're going to sell our house, and then we're going to move into Heather's parents. And that's going to be weird, dude. Because here's the deal. Are you ready for this?
What's
They
up?
have 5 dogs. They have 5 dogs. And a
Plus your
cat.
2.
We're adding 2 more dogs and a cat.
Ugh.
I know, it's going to be nuts. Now, thankfully, their biggest dog, Bailey, has spent some time with Charlie and Castle. So, like, they're all going to be, like, the bigger dogs will all kind of be outside on the screened-in porch area during the daytime or in with us, depending on where we're at. But they'll be able to be together and not fight, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, and we'll probably just keep them away from the smaller dogs. But I don't know. We'll
That's a
see.
lot of
Hopefully they'll all
people.
get along. I
That's
know
a lot
dude.
of
It's gonna
moving
be tight. So I'm really hoping that we find a rental pretty quick and can get down to Florida and don't have to stay with her parents for too long. So
Well, I mean, I would say that I feel for you, but I don't think I could do it. I'd lose my patience.
oh, it's not me, I promise you. I wish I could claim that I have all the patience in the world to do it, but I'm actually a pretty impatient dude. So it's a lot of time spent praying in the morning for
Are your
God to
parents still
give
at Miss
me.
Betty's house?
Yes, for now. They have to be packed up and out of there the 5th of August.
Oh, they sold that house too.
They are selling it, and so they're basically staging it and getting it ready to go.
And are they coming back to Hutch till then?
They're going to stay in Hutch for the meantime. I needed to tell you, I am coming back the 16th through the 18th. It's just going to be me. But as long as we're not on our way to Florida that weekend, meaning we already have a rental, which I don't expect us to have one until September. But the game plan is the 16th through the 18th, I'm going to be in Hutch.
Okay.
So I want to try to get with everybody and spend some time with everybody.
I'll be here. I mean,
All right.
I don't know what day of the week that is, to be honest.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh, then yeah, I'll be free.
Good.
And does BJ have a show that weekend? Wait, no,
I
he
do
didn't have one
not.
until the 10th or 24th. So no, he don't.
Okay, cool. He doesn't have anything in Leavenworth that weekend or anything, right?
At the 10th is the Leavenworth show.
Okay, gotcha.
And we'll talk about that more.
Yay!
Sorry.
So
Jamie asked me if
No.
I was awake.
you're good, man. There's some exciting stuff that I know you want to talk about. So what do we have to talk about? Let's see, what food are you snacking on, my guy? This is Chubby Buddies. We got to talk food.
In a world filled with imitations, there's one name that stands out above all the rest. Rage Beef Jerky, a small batch jerky company that sets the standard for what it means to be 100% grade A quality beef.
Rage Beef Jerky is the self-proclaimed world's best beef jerky. But just because it's self-proclaimed doesn't mean it's not true.
Rage Beef Jerky is made right here in the USA and can be found in 5 states across 400 plus locations ranging from Kansas, Nebraska, Oklahoma, Missouri, and Arkansas.
But if you're not near those states, all you've got to do is visit www.ragebeefjerky.com and you could choose from any of the 6 flavors that they got of jerky or beef sticks. They got both now. They're really good. The flavors are original, teriyaki, hot, cracked pepper, sweet, and spicy, or you can go with my all-time favorite, which is bacon jalapeno. Chef's kiss.
Rage Beef Jerky has given our listeners the opportunity to save 15% off their order. At checkout, use promo code CHUBBY, that's CHUBBY, and save 15% off your order. Don't let your taste buds suffer through any more mystery meat products. Visit www.ragebeefjerky.com and let your taste buds rage.
Get your jerky on.
Actually, I was eating those Reese's clusters. I got
Ooh,
more bags
yeah,
of
the
those
Reese's-
M&M
you talked
the
about
mini
those.
peanut butter M&Ms.
Yeah.
Those are addictive.
So not necessarily a snack, but I grabbed this the other day because I was needing a drink. I'm a Gatorade guy. Are you a Gatorade guy?
Yeah,
Do you drink
especially
Gatorade?
in the summer.
Okay. The Arctic Cherry. I don't
Arctic
I
cherry.
assume
That's cool blue.
or
isn't it?
glacier. Sorry, glacier cherry. Not Arctic. Glacier cherry.
Oh, that's the white cherry.
The white one. Yeah, the
Yeah.
white one.
That's good.
I don't think this is really a secret anymore. I think a lot of people know, but that is by far the best flavor of Gatorade. Like it is
for me, I'm a lemon lime guy. Like I love
Gr-
lemon lime.
like classic OG lemon lime.
Because like if I get like that, okay, have you ever had that really the dark red one that's is like berry cherry or something like that? It's too thick and syrupy for me. I have to put it on ice to like water it down a little. But like usually all those sweet like orange,
Next,
lemon
you're
lime.
gonna tell me orange is your second favorite.
It is orange,
Oh my
lemon lime,
Bobby.
orange, and then I would say probably that glacier cherry. I just don't like the heavy stuff when I'm hot, like because I get stomach aches and stuff. That's my issue. Because if I'm drinking Gatorade, I'm hot and thirsty.
You are living the grandpa life, my dude.
I've always
Werther's
loved
is your
lemon
favorite
lime.
candy. OG lemon lime is your favorite flavor.
100%. But I don't drink Gatorade. Like if I go to the grocery store and I'm driving, I'm not gonna buy a Gatorade. That's just not my jam. Like I'll buy either an energy drink, a soda, or I'll get an icy. Like that's my jam.
Let me guess. You think like old school Red Dawn's better than new school Red Dawn? Probably haven't even seen new school Red Dawn.
I haven't seen New School Red Dawn.
Oh my god, you are
We
such
talked
an
about that
old
last
man.
episode.
Oh, no fun. That was supposed to be funnier than.
Oh, you're good. But no, lemon lime is my jam, but only because it doesn't upset my stomach when it's hot outside. The other stuff is just thick.
Just drink ginger ale like old people do.
Ugh, ginger ale's overrated.
I love that I said that when I consistently drink ginger ale when I like fly on airplanes and stuff like that. It's a ritual for me.
Yeah, ginger ale is not my jam. Oddly enough. Sprite is better than 7-Up, so how's that?
But Squirt is better than
Oh,
Sprite.
Squirt, 100%.
There you go.
100%. I could drink, Squirt. A lot of people haven't heard of Squirt because not everybody has Squirt because they have that other, it's another lemon lime drink that they have out east. I mean, they probably have Squirt, but it's not as popular as it is here. It's another lemon lime drink. It's,
Lemon lime.
they
But
have it in
Squirt's not lemon
Wisconsin.
lime.
Well, it's lemon. Squirt's lemon.
No, it's not.
What is it?
Grapefruit.
Oh, that's true. Okay. Well, it's a citrus drink, and it's just not here anymore. Like we used to have it, but they don't have it here anymore. I forgot the name of it, but they have it.
What's top?
Top
of the list.
For
Drink.
like soda or anything.
Let's go one of each. Let's go soda, sports beverage, energy drink.
Okay, soda. I'm a Pepsi guy.
Say that again.
Just Pepsi for soda.
Pepsi. Okay.
Pepsi for soda. Sports drink. I'm gonna probably. I don't know. That's a toughie because Gatorade lemon lime's just simple for me. I mean, okay. Here's a throwback. Gatorade lemon lime with that twist top thing that you're like. It's like a bottle instead, like with
Oh
the
my
mouthpiece
gosh.
on it. Yeah.
Really? The
Yeah.
old school squeeze bottles that had the twist caps?
Yeah.
Bobby.
You remember All Sport?
All Sport. Yeah.
It was like a
gosh.
generic Gatorade.
That was like the off brand of the off brand.
Yeah, it was like off-brand Powerade.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. All Sport. Oh,
All Sport.
that feels weird coming out of my mouth. I haven't
There's another good Gatorade.
even had
It's
that
Fruit Punch.
thought in forever. So
But
what was your energy drink?
Energy drink, I would either have to say the it's Tropical Punch Accelerator energy drink or the Kill Cliff Flaming Joe, that pineapple jalapeno energy drink that I had.
yeah.
Yeah, it's that one or the Accelerator Tropical Punch.
Okay.
I'm not a big Monster or Red Bull guy. If it's Red Bull, it'd be Juneberry. Juneberry is fire.
Juneberry is good, man. I do like Juneberry. I think I'm Rockstar Punched. Interestingly enough, I actually like Punch Zero a little bit better than regular Punched.
I don't think I've had them. I don't think I've ever actually tried a Rockstar, but I will say my old throwback was Nas.
Oh, Nos was good. Back in the day, they had a really good flavor to them.
Yeah, the
They had
bottled
like
one.
a fruit one that I loved. I went to town on
Yeah,
that.
it was like a fruit punch, like
Fruit punch,
in the bottle.
yeah.
It was like
Yeah.
a bottle, not like the nozzle
Bro,
was.
that one was good.
Yeah.
I love that one.
I like those throwback bottles.
But no, still today, I would say Rockstar Punch is kind of my go-to. If I can get zero, I'll get zero. Otherwise, I'll just get punched. Get punched. Then sports drink for me is
Can you
Body
consider Capri
Armor-
Sun as
What?
a sports drink? Capri Sun is a sports drink?
it is?
No, can you consider that?
No.
Because like they used to give
No.
it out after like T-ball and crap.
Oh my gosh, kids drink maybe, not a sports drink.
Okay, kids drink Capri Sun.
That's
100%.
fine because I've got a kids drink option too. But what was I saying? Oh, sports drink. Body Armor Light. The tropical. Tropical something. But it's got tropical coconut. I think is what it's called.
I actually like a Body Armor. I
and-
forgot about that drink. It's like
Yeah,
the
and
purple one.
it's
It's the one tribute to Kobe. It's purple and
Yes.
yellow. Yeah, that's
Yes.
pretty good.
And I really like that one because like it uses coconut water, and I'm not super fond of coconut water, but the tropical flavor, you expect coconut in it, so it doesn't mess with the flavor.
Mhm.
So I really enjoy that flavor because I expect coconut to be a part of it. And so that one's like probably my favorite sports drink. And weirdly enough, it's made with coconut water, and I don't really like coconut water.
I don't like
and
coconut water
then-
either.
Soda, far and away, Code Red. It's always Code,
Code
Red
Red?
for me. Yeah.
See, if it
Mountain
was
Dew,
if
Code
we
Red.
were strictly basing it on like a dark pop and a Mountain Dew, dark pop Pepsi beats it by a mile. Pepsi over Coke every day of the week, unless it's from McDonald's. I will drink McDonald's Coke, but if it's Mountain Dew, I'm a Livewire guy.
Bro, so I do like Livewire. Livewire was always good. It was just always
But
limited to
Surge
summer, man.
overall, Surge overall.
Surge. Let's go, baby. Take me
If
back.
my option is to drink Surge over any pop every day, it's going to be Surge.
Bro, I want to be clear. When Surge had its comeback for about 6 months, I was buying cases of it and selling it at youth group.
Yeah, that's what
It
you
was
said. Yeah, we
so
had that on
fun.
an episode. Surge is,
Yeah, that was so fun.
$1 a can for like a tall boy. It was like the tall boy
Yeah,
can.
man. That was, Surge, come back. Please.
So good.
Do you like my
Ugh.
shirt, man? Like, you can't really tell it.
Is that
but
sweat?
It is covered in what looks like blood, but is just red wood stain. And I mean, it looks like I murdered somebody.
I thought it was like
is blood
sweat or
spatter so bad.
I sort of see it now. I like the
In
color. It looks
person.
like a cream orange.
Yeah. Well, the color's orange, and so the color of the shirt's orange, and so the color of the dye is just like a reddish, like
For
it came out
staining
pink
your wood.
out of the bottle.
Mm-hmm.
But once you put it onto the wood and the wood soaks it up, it has a much redder tone, and so
Right.
it's like this rust red color. And so over top of the orange, the
It's like
whole
dried
shirt
blood.
just looks like I straight up.
Well, I guess
stabbed
you have a good
something
idea for like if
multiple
you ever
times.
went as like a murderer for Halloween.
Right? Gotta
go
get it.
get, like,
I already
a-
got part of my costume if I ever need to be a.
Just make
Like-
it even more. It's like better than corn syrup because it's probably the same color as corn syrup. It's like an amberish
How about
color.
this? I'll do a niche costume, and it'll be Jason on Saturday the 14th, and it'll be me like in lounge clothes, but there's blood all over me. I'll still have
Flip
my
flops.
thing, flip flops. I'll have the mask, and there'll be the shirt, and it's blood all over. But it's like Saturday the 14th, so it's like I'm trying to rest today, but I've still got errands to do or something.
I got shit to do, but
Yeah,
Have
that'd
you
be
watched-
funny, right?
oh yeah. But like,
Yeah, yeah.
isn't? Would you say that it's the same color as corn syrup when it dries?
Say that again.
Corn syrup, the
Uh,
stain.
darker
Oh, okay.
than that. Yeah.
So I mean that's what they use for blood in movies is corn. Or they used to
It's
corn
not.
syrup.
It's just not noticeable because it's not super thick up here, but on the body, that's where it's like here. I'll stand up.
Modeling. Yeah. Is that
See?
when you were remodeling? Or
Do
you were
what?
doing the deck? You were doing the deck?
Yeah, when I was doing the deck, yeah.
Yep.
So definitely looks like I might have killed somebody. But I didn't.
Just don't go in public.
What's that?
Just don't go in public in that shirt.
Just, yeah, oh, no, I already have a couple of times. People are like, y'all good? I'm like, oh, yeah, sorry, I was staying in a deck.
Yeah, I cut my finger.
Well, it was like the other guy isn't.
Yeah, you should ask the other guy. Have you watched any episodes of Bumping Chops yet?
What's that?
Have you watched any episodes of Bumping Chops yet?
Just the first one with Drake.
Oh, okay. So you watched the very episode 1. Well, The reason I asked that is because the last time you and I got together, we talked about at the very beginning of the episode, we talked about like something we believe in, right?
Mm-hmm.
And episode 2 with BJ or Billy, if you're an HCW fan and you're not close enough to call him BJ yet. He, like, as kids, you and I mean, every kid I think that was raised in a good home with good parents, taught their kid about Santa Claus, the Tooth Fairy, all that stuff to give us like some excitement to the holiday, right? Like as adults, like that goes away. And really as adults, all we have to look forward to for excitement and like stuff that like may not necessarily be 100% real is wrestling. Would you agree?
Right.
Okay. How is it that Billy or BJ wants to deny knowing about what you and I firmly believe in? Like, it blows my mind. Like, he literally denies knowing about Joe Hendry.
Well, so here's the thing. BJ's an old man, older than you, surprisingly. And he can be stubborn.
Denial.
He knows Joe Hendry. The problem is he doesn't believe in Joe Hendry. The difference is, Bobby, we believe in Joe Hendry.
Disrespect.
We believe. We understand. We get it. We believe in Joe Hendry. BJ doesn't believe yet.
Shame. No, I brought it up and he goes, who? And I was like, you don't know who Joe Hendry is? And he goes, no. And I was like, shut your mouth.
Lies.
I call BS. I think he's a fanboy at
He
heart.
knows.
I think
He doesn't believe.
I think Billy is much of a fanboy secretly behind locked doors of Joe Hendry as Dick Richards is of him.
Oh my gosh, yes. Have you ever noticed how much Dick Richards just like obsesses over Billy?
All the time.
I mean, like, it's a consumption of his mind. Like,
All the time.
I'm pretty sure it's 50% of his waking hours are spent on Billy. I would
he wakes
borderline
up-
say he has a crush.
He wakes up saying Billy in his sleep. He's like, oh, Billy. But no, I just thought it was weird.
I've
I was
heard
like,
that he
whatever,
watches
dude.
Billy in his sleep.
I have not heard that, but no, I was just curious if you saw him deny it, because that was what happened on last episode, is that he denied knowing or hearing
He
about Joe
denied
Hendry.
Joe
Because,
Hendry.
yeah,
It's
what?
the lack of belief, man. He's an unbeliever. We have to convert him.
He must have found out about Santa Claus really early on.
He used to just send me every hour to see if the presents had came yet. From like 2 a.m, he'd wake me up on the hour. He said, "Go see if Santa Claus came yet." And
Wow.
the moment the hour struck that the presents were out there, we were gone.
Shame. Well, hey,
We were
since it's the season of, I just had a question, like mainly because I was curious about like do you remember the first time you ever voted for really just mainly the president? Like I would say local. I think local voting is like really more like, I think we have more of an effect on. And the reason why I asked that is, do you remember the first president you voted for?
I do.
Okay. So was your experience what you thought it was going to be?
Do what?
Was your experience with it like what you thought it was going to be, like what you were told, and how?
No. I will say this: I have yet to have an election experience yet where the person that I voted for fulfilled even the majority of what they promised.
Okay,
It's usually one or two things. One or two things they find they ride their big train on, and they get those one or two things done. But they come in on platforms that are huge, and rarely do they get done everything they say they're going to get done.
well, I asked that because I'm wondering if I even ever want to vote again. Like the first time I ever voted for the president was in 2020, and the reason, and I'll tell you the story of why I feel that way. Like I voted for local stuff several times. The first time I voted was in 2008, back when I was still living in Great Bend. I voted for like the city stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but this time I voted for the president. And like my first time voting, I didn't expect anything because I'd never done it before. But I got a card in the mail that said, "Hey, you need to go to this place. You need to have all this information with you when you go." Granted, I did take into effect that it was during COVID, so I wasn't expecting it to go smoothly at all. I thought it was going to take forever. But when I got there, I had my registration card, I had my ID, I had all that other stuff. When I went in there, it was kind of like when I turned 18. I was kind of excited about buying my first like cigar as an 18-year-old, or can of chew, or whatever it was. Like the exact same thing happened. They didn't take my ID, and I have this is why I have faith in like the whole system. It's like, why are you not taking my ID? Like I didn't think about it at first. Like, does that make sense? I was like, oh sweet, I guess I'm not going to be here. But then as time went on, when I'm listening to other people talk, they're like, yeah, like you should have your ID and stuff like that because they need to see who you are. But like they didn't ask for any of that. They just gave me my registration ballot, and I went to a little booth, voted, and left.
Sketch.
Like I don't know how I feel about that.
You should be concerned about that. That's
right, and that's why, like, as time has gone on,
that's a failure of securing the voting process.
And as time has gone on, it's bothered me a little bit more each time, only because I don't have faith in the way that system is now ran. Only because, like, hey, how do you know that, like, I'm not my dad's, or I wasn't voting for my dad, or vice versa? Do you get what I'm saying?
I do.
It's almost harder to join the Catholic Church than it is to vote. And that's what's bizarre to me. Like, you have to go to catechism to be able to be a part of the Catholic Church, and this isn't anything like that. You just have to be 18 and show up, I guess.
I don't think it's that simple everywhere, but you're right. In a lot of places, it is way there. It's not a secure system.
It blows my mind.
They say it is, but there's way too many stories of
and everybody's like worried, hey, my vote, like I'm going to go vote because my vote matters. I'm not denying
with that in mind, I would still say voting's worth it. But I agree with you specifically on that your local elections are the most important. Where you're going to make the most difference, where you will have the biggest impact, where you need to be the most informed.
Right, and I think that you see that you are actually making the impact also. I think you actually fit, like, if you really take the time, I think you going to take that time to vote for your local area, I think you actually see that it actually made a difference, especially if you've done it several times.
And as crazy as it is, I know we don't like political season, but the moment you start seeing those signs go up, it needs to be your reminder to do just a little bit of research, okay? You need to just find out who the key names are that are running, and find out what they're running, like what their platform is.
And
just
find out what the big details are that's been going on in your area. Like at least do that. Like do that.
Know what issues are the biggest concerns, and know how each candidate stands on those issues. That's getting invested in your community. I'm thinking, even just in what I've experienced down here, there's been big changes. I mean, we would have never gotten the park built if we didn't have the community rally around and vote for the tax bond and stuff like that.
Like,
so it's
like that's the one thing that, like, but like, I guess that's the one thing that brings you together is like you guys wanting something and you guys working for it. Like whether that be voting
Right.
or something like that, or at least putting it on the ballot, like that right there is a job in itself. But like the one thing
There's-
that I would say is a big pet peeve of mine is that like you have the people who are, they register as Republican or they register as Democrat, whatever it is, but like they don't do any, like they say it's their job to go vote. Yeah, but it's also your job to be knowledgeable about what you're voting for, because if you're just going to vote for blue or red because you're blue or
Yeah,
red, like that, it's a
it
pet
is.
peeve of mine.
It is silly. Now, I will say this. I can understand people who don't understand the intricacies voting with an established idea of I prefer things staying the same versus I prefer things progressing and changing.
Right.
Like people are going to vote across those established lines. That part makes sense. What I have an issue with is if you haven't done the work at a local level to understand those candidates, you shouldn't be as willing to vote along those lines locally. At higher ups, our current system, you're not going to have like in Congress, specifically House and Senate, party lines are going to be a big decision maker in a lot of that stuff.
Right.
And it's because so many people are affected and so many people will vote via big themes that party lines land on.
Right. And I guess that takes me to my next question. Like after I say that, like that, well, the reason why that's a pet peeve of mine is that like, just because you declare yourself to be a part of this team doesn't mean that somebody on that other team doesn't have a good idea or
Yeah,
that might change something on benefit of you or the people around you. And
that's true.
leading into that, I don't know of any other way possible, but like our system now, the way we vote for president, like I don't know if is that the best way? Like there's so many, everybody talks about all voter fraud. Is there voter fraud? I'm 100% sure that there is. Whether to the extent of how much there is, I don't know. I mean, the reason why I say that there is because obviously somebody could walk in there, at least in my instance, walk in there and vote for you.
I think so. Here's the thing: there's changes that obviously need to be made, security that needs to be improved, but I don't think it's nearly as dire as you might think. I think our issue is always going to be an issue of dated communities. We grew up in a rural area. We understand what it's like that stuff doesn't develop as fast in the Midwest as it does on the coasts.
Right.
What develops in the cities and urban areas takes a while to migrate to rural areas and develop. And so with that in mind, I think you have to kind of view it under those terms. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there.
Collect yourself.
Yep. Remind me again of what we're talking about.
You were talking about like when I said the system in itself, do you believe in it? You were bringing up, yeah, there needs to be changes. Like being in a rural area, like things don't get to us in a timely manner as they do on the East or West Coast. You were talking
Yes,
about
but we were
changes
talking about-
security wise.
Security
you started.
for
voting, like how
for
much
voting.
fraud
Sorry,
there is.
thank you.
Yeah.
Voting. That was where I got lost. Heather's having a meeting in our bedroom, and so I can just barely hear her. And so like she said something like really loud, and it like totally distracted me.
Squirrel.
So point in, you were talking about the issues with voter security. I think that's more just an issue with rural areas. Poor
Like getting
management.
the system, getting them in and out.
Right. Getting better established security, better established discipline. Rural areas are also a lot more gracious and a lot more, oh, hey, that's Jim
Honest.
from
Like,
down the
it's
road.
like-
I know
yeah,
him.
it's like an
So I'm
honesty
just going to
thing.
let him in. So, it's a lot easier in, in a 200-person town to not require
Right.
ID when you know everybody.
Right.
And so I think it's just that issue of needing to approach it regardless of size with a certain level of scrutiny and security that could be fixed. And then I think really there needs to be just some clear teachings regularly about our system and why it exists, because it exists for a reason. Our founding fathers distrusted government. Our government is built on the concept of that distrust. Like, our government is complicated because we don't trust the individual power holder. We understand that power corrupts individuals, and so we create a layered system that one person, one entity cannot have too much power.
Right.
That's why there's some red flags about the Supreme Court's ruling with the presidential power of being immune from prosecution for any official acts. Now, what official acts is hasn't been established, so it's more of a, hey, this could be a concern rather than it is a concern. But it's really what it comes down to is we have to remember that government is by nature untrustworthy, and our founding fathers understood that, and we as a country need to understand that. And I'm saying that as somebody who's ran for school board. You should not trust any individual with power because they're human. Now, that's not to say that they aren't trustworthy and they won't do trustworthy things, that they aren't good people. You know, hopefully they are good people. That's what you want. You want good people representing you that are elected officials. But it is to say even good people can still sin. Even good people can be corrupted. And power makes it easier to be corrupted.
Right.
So,
and the reason why I brought that up, like, I don't think many people voice like their opinions enough, like towards like, I don't really care about what side somebody's on. Like, I don't think that should matter. In fact, like, if you have to come out and tell me, hey, I'm a Democrat, like, that should never be a part of the conversation. Like, if that's what you think that I'm going to like, if you think that's going to like either win or like separate this whole conversation, then we've already lost. Like, we're lost from the get-go. Like, because you being a Democrat or you being a Republican isn't going to make me like you any more or any less.
No, used to be, and truly, we need to get better at being able to disagree with people again.
Well, yeah, if we don't have disagreement, then it's chaos. If everybody is, that's manipulation right there. That's manipulation 101. If everybody's agreeing on everything, a free thought, like everybody's like, oh, I'm a part of the Democratic Party or Republican Party. I'm a free thinker. I'm a self-choice. I don't care what party's saying what about who. Like, just vote for who you believe is right. That's all you should do. Like, like the whole party thing is useless.
Vote local for sure. Do the research to.
If you
to
just
vote
vote presidency, you're not doing much at all with the voting process at all.
I would say reverse the order and recognize the most important is local and probably the least important is presidential.
Well, yeah, because if you want a Republican president and like say that you're not voting in your area and say it's not by a landslide and you obviously you don't want to say you don't want a Democratic president in the office and you're just not voting in your local area, like that's just one more extra thing for them to get a Republican in the office. If that makes sense.
And here's the thing: how many times does the president make a decision that directly affects your life?
I would say less than 0.00001%.
Yeah, it's nowhere near as frequently as the elected officials in your hometown or in your home county that make decisions that directly affect your life on the regular basis.
And the evidence behind that right there is the state of California, the state that they are in financially. Everybody moving out of there, that right there should tell you that who you vote for matters.
Absolutely,
at least in state.
So.
No, I just figured it would be a good time to actually get it out of there because you and I never talk about politics. We never did as kids because like we weren't like it didn't consume us so much that like that's what like affect like I don't think it affects you and I like in our relationship at all. Like no. But that's why we talked about sports, movies and stuff like that because there's less chaos in the discussion. It's much easier to talk about.
Really?
No, I'm talking about
plenty of chaos in our discussions.
But it's fun to talk about that type of chaos. Not like who's going to be like a better president. Like that's boring. because like nobody's gonna be the best president. If that's the case, then it wouldn't be such a hard job to get.
According to Heather, we already had JFK, and according to me, we already had Reagan. So I don't know. It's going to be tough.
It's hard to match like who you thought was the best president in history. Like it's not
I
going to
don't
happen anymore.
Here's the thing. I say Reagan. I truthfully don't study. I didn't study much of his policies, but as a communicator and as a just as a guy who he was sharp-witted but not sharp-tongued. Does that make sense?
He spoke when he felt it was necessary, and he didn't.
Yeah,
I would
and he
say
wasn't calloused or mean to the
didn't
people
disrespect who he
who
was
were
talking
cruel to him, and I appreciated that. He had a lot of character.
right, but it also helped that he was regularly talking to large groups of people.
But
with
I also know, pretty strong on war on drugs, war on, like
the DARE
didn't
program that
have
his
a
wife
very good
started.
response to HIV and AIDS, stuff like that.
Terrible response.
So
And the DARE thing,
yeah.
like the war on drugs type stuff, like that was like mainly like led by his wife, wasn't it? Like DARE.
I can't remember what she was. She may have been the primary one for that, but
Yeah, I think she started the DARE program. Nancy.
but Reagan as a communicator was pretty top notch. I'd say
Communication,
closest
like
to
you've
Reagan-
got tons of people. Like for talking,
I'd say the
wise,
closest to Reagan
Obama
within
was a
years
great
is
talker.
Obama.
Yeah,
Obama's
Obama
a
was
phenomenal
an amazing.
communicator. I would put Obama as number 2 behind Reagan as far as communicator.
See,
within
and
the
you and I
past
never talk
50
about stuff like
years.
that. If we can agree
No.
on something like that we never talk about, that's pretty bizarre. Like Obama,
Well,
like I
think
could
a
listen.
lot of people recognize that Obama was a phenomenal communicator. I think that's why he was able to compel so many people to rally around him. It wasn't as simple as, oh, he's a black guy, we're going to vote for the black guy for president. He legitimately inspired people, and we believed we could change. Yes, we can, was his rally cry. Like, I still remember that.
Yeah, I remember it too. I mean, not because I
It was good.
like voted for it. I think every type of like motto that a president comes up with, like it had to have been used. Like Donald Trump's, like "Make America Great Again." That was used in the Reagan
Make America
campaign.
Great Again. That was good.
Like
that was
the
good.
Reagan campaign used that, and I think it was used in one other one. I think it was like either
Really
Roosevelt or something. Yeah, it's
I don't
been
think I
used
knew that.
by 2 other presidents.
I
Granted,
knew
it wasn't.
I think I knew the Roosevelt one because I saw something.
I think it was
a
Theodore.
little while. Was it?
I think.
Teddy
I'm
Roosevelt?
not 100% sure, but I was pretty sure that it. For sure, I believe Reagan used the premise of making America great again. It wasn't necessarily
Cool.
make America great again. It was just like,
Right. Not necessarily the specific
Yeah.
phrasing, but the concept of returning to greatness or something like that.
yeah, I'm just going to make
Nifty.
sure.
So, yeah. What's now that Biden is stepping down and Kamala is, do you think that the whole party will rally around her? Do you think it'll split apart?
I think it's so far split you can't bring them together. Like that's the bad thing. Like it was already separated so far enough that it's unfixable. I think this
Do you
late in the
think-
race.
So then, do you think that Trump has it, or do you think RFK Jr.'s got a shot at it, or
I think
What's up?
think Biden dropping out raised RFK Jr.'s like chances at getting the like his foot in the door without being a part of any type of debate.
I agree.
Now, I'm not saying who would be the better option, but what I am saying is that like the Democratic Party is so far separated that
Yeah.
they would vote for RFK over somebody they just threw in there that we haven't heard from Kamala throughout the entire 4 years at all. So how do they know that she's going to do anything? The only thing she has is the backing of the Democratic Party, not the Democratic voters.
That's true. I think you're right. I think it'll come down to really how the what's it, the rally, not rally, but what's their DNC?
Oh, their Democratic
meeting called?
campaign. It's The global
The meeting.
Democratic camp. Yeah.
the meeting when they
The
meet,
Republicans
depending
just got
on how
theirs
that
over.
goes, I think we'll have a lot clearer picture of how the president's race is going to go. But I definitely think you've got Trump and RFK Jr.
It
kinda
raised
in a
RFK Jr.'s
good battle.
chances at competing at a head-to-head level rather than it being a landslide by him not even getting like remotely counted out.
Yeah, I agree.
So, I mean, I think it's good and bad, like for the Democratic Party because they're so far
Well, there you
separated.
go. A surprise for you guys. A Chubby Buddy special. We threw in a little bit of politics for you.
Which never happens.
No.
Yeah, I was trying to Google, but it keeps bringing up like "Make America." Like that's obviously going to be Trump's big thing on Google.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but did you want to get into Heartland Championship Wrestling?
Hey. Let's talk about some wrestling.
Let me see if I have I had some notes. I was just making sure, and I can go over them since you weren't at the last show, or since
Yeah,
we didn't
please.
talk last. Docs, I think. Docs. But no, I also was going to bring up, but we can talk about that next episode. It was USA Today's top 10 restaurants. Blew my mind. Disgusting. I was disgusted.
Say that again?
USA Today voted, or not voted, they put in a article, the top 10 USA fast food chains in America.
Okay.
The worst list I've ever seen.
Well,
you want to
now
go
I
that
need
first?
to know.
Do you want to go?
Yeah,
that first?
absolutely.
Okay. I just want to make sure. I know that you're a busy man. All right. And I was like, I would love to get paid to do something like this. Like,
oh my gosh,
local
right?
news.
Could you imagine if that was like a side gig? Like just reviewing, like, okay, Jack Stack Eats has got it figured out, man.
Yeah.
That dude literally goes and eats food and reviews it. Like that's
There's one other guy that's
and
in
he's
Wichita.
good at it too, man.
Yeah. He's more of the video part of things. There's another guy that does video like without being on camera, but then he also writes blogs, and it's Wichita by EB.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Wichita by EB. I've seen
that
some of his
is
posts.
even bigger than Jack Stacks, but he goes
That's
into such
cool,
detail, like in his blog. So
nice.
All right, so what blows my mind about this list, not like when I would make a list, like a top 10 list, I would think that for it to be entire like of America, that restaurant should have to be at least in every major city in the United States. Would you agree? At least.
No, I don't think so.
But if it's
You've
only
got
in one
localized stuff.
area,
Like In-N-Out's not in every major area.
right? But
it
local,
absolutely
but
needs
that's
to be
local,
on a top list.
Like, yeah. So people that would, I guess you could say that if it's not in major cities, people would drive across state lines to get that food.
Yes.
So like
state
In-N-Out.
lines. If we said state lines, then yes.
Okay.
If you're saying across country, nobody's really doing that unless
All
it's
right, so
Michelin
here is number like 1. I don't know if this is
Where
like
you
an
starting,
order.
10
nothing.
or 1 or what's
Well,
happening?
I can start at 10, which kind of it makes me mad. Now, maybe when we were younger, it makes more sense.
Hang on. Is this the best or the worst?
I
If
don't
it's
know.
10,
They,
it should
they
be
don't.
the
They don't
bottom of the
specify
list.
that. This is just 1 through 10.
Oh,
It's
so
kinda
it's
weird.
just a collective. Like
Yeah.
here are the 10 best.
Yes.
That's
So
silly.
what they have as number 10 is Arby's. Okay.
Okay.
So number 9, Zaxby's.
Okay.
Number 8, Popeyes.
Okay.
Number 7, Taco Bell.
Okay.
And number 6 is Captain D's. Where is that?
No, Captain D's it's basically Long John Silver's. It's around. It's in a lot of places. It's up in Springfield. I know of a lot of people that have Captain D's. I don't know that should be on a top 10 list.
Okay. Okay, number 5.
Would you put Long John Silver's on a top 10 list?
No, not a chance.
Okay, then.
Number 5, Hardee's.
Okay.
Number 4.
My local one isn't very impressive is the problem, but they do make good biscuits.
Okay, number 4, In-N-Out.
Yes.
Okay. Now, I can't speak to that because I've never had it, but I do know that
I've had
is
it
highly
multiple times.
huge
It's
and popular.
phenomenal.
Number
It's simplistic. It's classic.
Number 3 for me, it's an unpopular opinion. I think it's overrated only because, like, I'm not a fan. But Chick-fil-A.
Yes.
Okay.
The Lord's chicken. Man, and that's so funny because I was a hater at first. Hated Chick-fil-A.
I think it's
didn't like I didn't like peanut oil. I thought peanut oil was gross. I don't like my chicken fried in it. And I've just I've come around over the years.
But
It's okay.
Five Guys
It's
fries
good.
their fries in peanut oil.
Yeah, I've had Five Guys one time.
Oh, I thought you've had it. I thought you liked it. My bad.
I've only ever had it
Number
one time.
2 makes me mad. KFC. Ugh. You can't have
Really?
Popeyes and KFC on the same list.
Okay, hang on. KFC was a
Right.
top 10
At least in Hutch. Like
in the 90s.
It didn't even deserve
in
to
the
be on
90s. I would say in the 90s, but is it now still a top 10?
You couldn't pay me to eat at the KFC here.
Have you had it lately? It's not bad now, but it's not like a
At least the one in
force
Hutch
like it
doesn't
used
deserve to
be.
even be on the road of Hutchinson, Kansas. Okay? Like, it's disgusting.
4th Street. Man,
Number
that
1,
one's
I've heard of this place, but
special.
I've never been to it or seen it driving down the road, and that is
Whataburger.
Mr. Del Taco.
What?
Del Taco.
Oh, that's right. Del Taco does top the list. That's right. You know what's funny? I actually heard about this list. I didn't realize this was the same
Pat
list.
McAfee posted it on Twitter, and he was like, "This is disgusting." Like, I'm mad about you can't have 2 of the like top fried chicken places. I don't.
So what's their logic behind? Like,
I
how
don't
do they
know. Like,
categorize this?
That's what I'm saying. Like, if I was in charge, I would want it categorized by genre of food, at least.
I want to know even what their ranking system is.
They
Is
didn't
it
have
just
that on the
whoever
article.
the editor was decided these are my favorite restaurants and these are the best?
I don't know
Like,
how opinion driven
how do
this
they
is.
classify best? Now, again, I actually heard about this article because Del Taco is. I'm part of a youth ministry group. I have been like for 10 years. And it started as 2 guys who were in youth ministry. One guy who was the lead in the ministry and the other guy who was taking over the ministry. And they built kind of a mentor-mentee relationship. And out of that, they developed they started a company called DYM, Download Youth Ministry. And they would meet regularly at Del Taco to like organize youth group and stuff like that. So Del Taco is like at the Del Taco, there is a plaque that says this booth belongs to Doug Fields and Josh Griffin. And so it's like it was like it literally is the staple point for so many major things in DYM's history. And so like when this article apparently came out, because what is it, like a week and a half, 2 weeks old?
Yeah, if that.
Yeah. So when it came out, like everybody in our DYM group, which is probably 10,000 youth pastors now, are all posting this article saying, well, it's funny because all of us don't agree with the article, but we're like, hey, Josh and Doug will be happy. Del Taco's number 1.
I've never had it, but I've heard people say that like they have the best French fries. It's kind of weird.
Heather's had me eat it a couple of times because she loved it. She grew up with it.
Yeah,
It's
California.
their Taco Bell. It's their version of Taco Bell. It's a twist though because they have like fries and
Like-
I would almost call it Tex-Mex.
Like Taco Bell is
Is the best
Tex-Mex,
way to describe it.
isn't it? Oh Jesus,
Taco
my dog's
Bell?
barking. Yeah, I
Taco
didn't know
Bell's
if it's
supposed to be Mexican.
Here, give me 1 second. I got a dog.
But those of you that are listening, I don't want you to have to listen to silence. So let's talk about Del Taco. It's Tex-Mex, which Tex-Mex, if you're not sure what that is Mexican food mixed with like Texas, I guess. So kind of American Mexican food. This one, Del Taco, is known for its French fries and burritos.
Yeah, like I heard
So,
it
like,
had
Mexican
like the
food,
best
but
French
like
fries.
French fries. I mean, they're good. They're not curly fries. They're crinkle cut fries. So they're not anything.
The one that I would
magic.
agree with on this, the 2 that I would agree with, because I like Zaxby's, but I don't think it deserves to be on this list. I would say Popeyes and Taco Bell. One, because they're in almost every major city, and Taco Bell is the last of so many restaurants to be able to be affordable, I think.
I
Like
agree.
for-
Taco Bell certainly needs to be on the list. I'm
Arby's, not no more.
disappointed that Culver's is not on that list.
Is Culver's a
I would like
Midwest
to
thing
see
by
Culver's.
itself?
It might be. It might not have expanded fully enough, but Culver's, I think, even locally, is good enough that it should be on that list.
I just didn't know how popular it
Whataburger
was.
is surprising to
And
me
that's a
that it's
Texas
not on that
thing.
list. Texas, but it's growing. We've got one here in Missouri now. It's growing.
Right, and
it's
that's because
developing
Patrick
out.
bought into it. But like, is
So-
it in any other states now? Kansas, Missouri,
Oh,
and
yeah.
Texas?
Yeah, it's all over the Southwest or South now.
Okay,
It's growing out.
but like, I
So-
don't know. I was just a little upset. If I was in charge of this, at least categorize things.
I agree with you. That list is busted beyond repair. There's several, like Zaxby's is fine, but why do you have Zaxby's and Popeyes on there?
and KFC
And KFC. That's ridiculous.
and Chick-fil-A.
It's Popeyes. You can put Chick-fil-A because Chick-fil-A should be at the top of the list, period, because they are dominating fast food business model, if that makes sense.
Well, that's business model. I can't disagree on, but for the quality, like I think their food is just overrated. That's just opinion. Like all my food that I've ever gotten from there has been soggy.
You even gotten the spicy chicken's not bad there. I
I've
like
had
the
it. I
spicy
mean,
chicken.
it's good. Like it's nothing that I would rant and rave about. Like that's all I'm saying. But yeah, I was just like taken back by that. And since we are the Chubby Buddies, I figured food would be a good talking point at least.
Let me tell you what will be worth ranting and raving about: the peach shake at
The peach shake.
yes, sir. The peach shake at Chick-fil-A is worth ranting and raving about. That is my favorite
Peach
shake.
Ooh.
Oh, get you a peach shake if you haven't had one. It's like real cut up pieces of peach and their ice cream, and it's magical.
I'll have to try it out.
I
The next
want
time I go.
some now.
All right, so to get into HCW, HCW just got done with Justice for All, the last show. Like since we go over that in bumping chops, now I think that we can kind of take away from that, but like we can talk about like some big things that happened. So like,
Yeah, give us the highlights, man.
so I guess one of the
events
big matches that came out of that show was the Carter takeover. King Carter, that he's been disrespecting Dutch McClain for quite some time now, and he's cheated to win.
King Carter's been running his mouth and cheating to win?
Yeah, but he calls it the Carter takeover, and this last one he got DQ'd.
Carter takeover. I like that, man.
Because he's champion in 3 states. Well, 2 states. The third state trying to take over was Kansas, and Dutch is trying to put a stop to that. But at the end of this match, it came down to Dutch winning by disqualification because Kane just went and waylaid on him with a kendo stick, like just nonstop. And the Billy had to come out. And he pretty much said, hey, since you want to call this whole Carter takeover a real thing, you two are going to be a part of HCW's first ever Iron Man match.
Sorry.
Ooh, some jams.
Miller Mortuary was calling.
That's odd. You got a mortuary in the family?
I know, right? No. Why is Miller Mortuary calling?
But did you catch that at the end? King Carter versus Dutch will be a part of HCW's first ever Iron Man match.
Whoa,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, he says
Dang.
that way he can't get disqualified for bringing in any weapons or anything like that. Billy just wants to finish this off the right way, and the only way to do it is the impossible chances of getting DQ'd.
That's nuts.
So, yeah, that's one of the biggest matches that happened out of that. And another thing to highlight, like the excitement for the flip of Ray Leone is amazing. Like the way that the crowd loves that man. Like
that makes me so happy.
It's and he's a very, very good wrestler. So
Ray deserves his flowers because he is athletic. He is dynamic. He's phenomenal.
look at this.
Like,
he was just sleeping.
what's up, buddy? How's it going, Falcor?
He was like, I
What's
just wanted
up,
to be. I just
dude?
wanted human contact. He was out there whining.
Hi, buddy. Hi, buddy.
But yeah, Ray Leone, like the love for him is pretty exciting to watch happen. Like especially in real time. Like
and
he
deserves it, man. He absolutely deserves it. So Wichita, keep it up.
Outside
Keep
of
showing
him,
him all your love.
outside of him destroying Drake Gallows with a chair, and that ended up really going the opposite way for Ray in the end of that. I don't know if you caught on that Drake did show up at this last show, but he got his revenge on with the chair and ultimately decided the end of Ray Leon versus Aaron Helms at this show.
Ooh. Yeah.
And one last thing to highlight, like the hatred for Handgun Dan is insane. Like,
let's go.
I've never, like, you would think when you would think hatred in Wichita, you would think Dick Richards, right?
No, Handgun Dan's done plenty of villainous things. Remember what he just, I mean, he worked over Chance Kerrigan for 6 months.
Yeah.
Just torturing the man.
Not him.
I mean, he is a psychopath, sociopath. Get in your head.
He don't care about a title.
He is on the path of crazy.
He's in this to destroy either you as a human being or the crowd as
he wants
fans.
to crush your mind. Yeah. He wants to crush your mind. Whether you're watching or fighting.
Just the disrespect that he had towards he just wrestled Jose Gerardo at this last show, and his fans love Jose, and his whole fan corner was
so that had to have been a dynamic match because they love Jose and hate Handgun Dan.
I believe the words that Handgun Dan said is that when he was coming out, I don't know if it was like a fan of his or if it was like his actual girlfriend. He said, "After I get done with Jose tonight, you're going home with me." I was like, "Whoa!" I was like, "Oh my god!" I was like,
aggressive.
Yeah.
And with a name like Handgun Dan, that's concerning because it feels like a threat.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, the show was amazing, and we'll go into more detail about that in Bumping Chops. We'll really break down each match, I think. So I think that'd probably be best for that. So, but their next show is August 10th in Leavenworth. It's their 1-year anniversary show for Summer Showdown #2. And they've had some announcements in their matches. One of the matches is Stormy Renee versus Chance Kerrigan for the Independence title.
Oh man!
So that'll be exciting.
That'll be fun.
This is a fatal 4-way for the Heartland Championship. Balisong versus Kargar versus Dutch versus Aaron Helms.
Whoa!
Yeah. Third match that they have is Handgun Dan versus Kyle King. Kyle King,
okay.
Kyle Long.
Kyle King.
And another one is T2G Tommy Too Good
T2G
versus Donovan Era.
And
that's so far just the matches that they've released for that show. And then August 24th is their next Wichita show, and that is Block Party. And the matches that came out of that, obviously, we just said is going to be Dutch versus King Carter in HCW's first ever Iron Man match.
So Iron Man match, that is it like traditional Iron Man?
Yeah, anything goes, I do believe.
Okay, so like a no DQ match then.
Weapons are
a traditional Iron Man match was an hour-long match that you would rack up pinfalls, submissions. You couldn't be disqualified. So I don't know if this is like a traditional Iron Man
I don't know.
hour long.
He obviously didn't go into detail because he just came out and said you're going to be a part of the Iron Man match, the first ever one. So I don't know what details. So we'll be
wondering if it's like the traditional ones or if this is kind of a more modern, maybe shortened version. So,
we'll see.
But I'd be intrigued. Can't wait to find out more. Yeah. You mentioned Stormy Renee. I definitely think we should at least highlight the fact that my feed is full of AEW clips of her wrestling. Let's go, man! She is now
wrestled for the largest organizations in wrestling. So
she is showcasing, y'all. She is legitimately on screen and showing off talent. Stormy, we love you. We're proud of you. This is exciting.
She lost. She lost so many fans Saturday.
Hey, she's big time, and she's very much so the type to lose sight of where she came from, apparently, because she's a villain in Wichita. However, could you imagine? Hang on, say that again. She is fighting Chance Kerrigan for the Independence Championship. Yes,
in Leavenworth. Yep,
in Leavenworth. Could you imagine if the next time she strolls into Wichita,
As
she's
the
holding that
Independence
title.
What does that say to Johnny Faith, though?
Vitriol,
Yeah.
the vitriol that they would have for her, just the bitterness.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh, that would be.
And what she did
wild.
last Saturday, I guess we'll get into just what she did. Like, Cameron Burnett came out and she pretty much told the crowd that she's taking some time away for mental health reasons and
Okay.
just injury and stuff like that. And Stormy came out and pretty much said, "Oh, you're just a crybaby." She didn't care about mental health and just slaps the shit out of Cameron Burnett in front of the entire Wichita crowd.
Stormy.
And it was pretty wild to just see the reaction. Everybody's like, "What just happened?" Because like she just showed no remorse towards like what Burnett was going through. So wild.
Golly.
But that is HCW's next show in Wichita and in Leavenworth. The doors open at 5. Bell rings at 6. Kids 12 and under get in for free. Tickets start at $12.
Let's go.
Yep. And don't forget to follow them on all socials like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok at HCW Live 23 and their Patreon for just $5. You get all the action at HCW Live 23.
All of the action.
All. So sports, big guy.
Oh, sports.
This is the most quietest offseason of football I've ever
It has
been
been.
a part of. Like that's like a blessing in disguise, maybe, because like usually people are getting arrested or wild things are getting moved around, like people are sitting because they didn't get the contract they wanted. But
yeah, I haven't heard of any major contract disputes. Have
just
you?
with the rookie at the Bears, like he hasn't signed his rookie contract yet.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, the big thing now is that Tua just got signed for a 4-year extension, $212 million. The top two.
I saw. Who else did I see got an extension?
Jordan Love with the
yeah,
Green Bay
Jordan
Packers.
Love got an extension, which I was a little
taken back by. Like the top
Yeah.
3 quarterbacks in the NFL are like nobody that you would ever think would be their franchise quarterback.
I just know, like, I get that it's time for an extension for Jordan. I'm just not sure he's earned
It's
and
only his
justified
second
that big
season
one.
starting. Last year was
I
his
know.
first, so that's pretty bizarre.
But he's been playing for longer than that, and so it was time contractually to.
I think he only played
extend
1
it.
year longer than that. He's only been with the team 4 seasons.
Right, which is his rookie contract.
Right, but I didn't know if he was. I mean, he just hasn't shown anything to prove that he's franchise worthy.
That's what I'm getting at.
Oh, I thought you were saying
I don't
that
know
he's
if
been there a
that's
while.
true. I don't know if that's true that he hasn't shown that he's franchise worthy. What I'm getting at is I don't know that he's shown that he's worth that contract.
No, and usually
I want to know how
other two
performance based that contract is, because if it's heavy on performances, then it's not necessarily such a bad deal.
Right. Here, I'm going to let him out real quick. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but contract stuff's always so weird, and it's always such a domino effect. I don't know if those of y'all that are still listening, you'll like watch the contracts and watch how they go. It's so silly, but in 1 year, like it's just a cycle of building the money up and up and up, and the dominoes tip, and one lineman gets this or one receiver gets this, and now everybody wants this. It's just ridiculous.
I go out there and he's got 2 pins on the freaking ground.
Chewing them up.
But yeah, I agree with you. Like, I don't think has he proved enough to be franchise worthy? Like, stat based, I don't think he does.
No, and I think kind of what I was just kind of mumbling about to myself and to our viewers was that I think it's silly because it's all domino effect anyways with contracts, and to pay a kid this young with this little experience that kind of money just sets up more contracts to be bigger and it just to keep growing, and it's unnecessary for it to happen here. So, oh, did I lose you? I lost your audio, bud.
Oh, whoops, sorry. People won't be able to pay for a great quarterback somewhere down the road. Like, that's going to be too hard because you don't have enough evidence not to pay him at that point.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, look at how handicapped Denver's going to be for the next several years because of Russell Wilson. I mean, and as contracts grow, because what I would hate is I know eventually enough fans are going to start clamoring. You good, guys?
Whoa.
I know fans are going to eventually start clamoring enough for football to just get rid of the salary cap because other sports got rid of the salary cap.
Yeah, and then
so
you
what
run
reason
into
is there
like
to
even bigger issues.
Yeah, because then it's just which city can afford the most money being pumped.
Yeah,
which team can afford the most money being pumped into
everything's going to be very much controlled by the actual like franchise itself rather than the organization of the NFL.
Yep, and it's not competitive and it's not unifying.
But the one thing that I will say that could come good from this is that like when you see things like the Chiefs, what they're doing with their team, like that's the best thing that like you can do is that everybody's willing to work their contracts out to keep everybody.
Absolutely.
So speaking of that, like, did you see the stuff with the Raiders and Mahomes, the Kermit the Frog doll?
Oh yeah,
the puppet.
I also saw Patrick's response.
Oh, that was like the most like gangster response.
Baby. Ice.
It'll get
Ice
handled
cold.
when it gets handled.
It'll get handled when it gets handled.
But what's crazy is that the Raiders, they need to find a different target. Like considering like Mahomes is like 10-2 against them since he started.
I think they have to talk smack, otherwise they're afraid.
Right, but check this out. Like it just looks even worse. Like when they go to get destroyed by him. Like
I know.
because like Patrick Mahomes, he's been a starter for 7 seasons, and in those 7 seasons, he's won more games in those 7 seasons than the Raiders have in 10 years. That's crazy.
That's a great stat. Thank you for
like
that.
Mahomes, I think Mahomes. Well, this is the last time I looked at it. Mahomes has won 74 games, and I think the Raiders have won 71 in like the amount of time that.
Ouch.
Yeah. So, but the Raiders have won 71 in 10 years, and Mahomes has done that in 7. So, really, like, yeah. Oh, we're not scared, but I would rather show my like fear rather than like try to swallow my pride when I get destroyed by 20, 30 points.
At some point, you feel like maybe humility is the right choice here. Maybe it's to say, man, he's a great quarterback. I'm excited to go up against him. I hope I'm pressed to the best of my ability, and I hope I come out of this thing showing that I'm capable and I can keep up with the best of them.
Right.
That's a completely different response than, hey, look at this little Kermit Muppet. And
especially when it was a defensive player, because that like
rookie defensive player too.
Like if he ever gets the chance to throw on that dude, like I wonder if like he's gonna be like the guy
when Patrick throws when the third touchdown that Patrick throws is over top that dude's head, then he might say sorry.
Oh,
but
man.
Patrick is
I would much rather swallow my pride than...
There's a notebook that Patrick has written these names down in. And when it gets to that game week, he's crossing that name off the list.
His teammates did it for him, like on a board, and like they're like, "Oh, this is funny. Like this is something Andy Reid probably wrote on a note card to like go back at later. Like, hey, we're gonna save these cool plays that we have in our back pocket for this game.
These punks. Exactly.
Like, just such a. I mean, it's a fun banter, but it's such a bad way to look at it. Especially you play each other twice a year. Why would you do that? like I get why they do it, but
asking for a butt whooping.
Yeah, like now they're gonna plan to beat you even more than what they do now. Like,
and see, this is what I want too. I want there to be motivation because I'm worried that. What's the motivation here? We're trying to do the three-peat. We're trying to make history. So there's motivation there. But beyond that,
we're everybody's the Raiders, enemy, like that's not even a goal. It's just been happening. Yeah. It's just been happening. And now it's a goal.
Vegas is just Arrowhead West.
Right. And that's not, and that it just isn't going to settle right with just having Andy Reid as the play creator is just bad. From the get-go.
Dude, they never should have allowed Andy Reid to draft Patrick Mahomes. And I'm telling you, dude, with Xavier Worthy,
the fastest. Okay, they are
Do
going to
you
pass.
understand
I
like
think,
what?
I think they could break records for passing yards in a season this year. Like with the amount of options that he's going to have to throw to.
Do you remember our first Super Bowl? Not way back first Super Bowl. Our most recent first Super Bowl.
Yes, 2019.
How dynamic that offense was because we had Tyreek.
They had 7 receivers with close to 1,000, or 6 receivers with, I think, close to 1,000 yards. Wasn't it?
Yeah. We will absolutely have that same level of high-powered offense, but now we'll still have our stacked defense.
Right.
This
and
is
the
going
defense
to be
is-
such a good year. I'm so excited.
The only thing that the only thing that the Raiders have going for them is that it's a divisional rival, and like that, they usually it goes either way.
And
But
it's any
with-
given Sunday.
but
It's
to
any given
add
Sunday. We all know
fuel to the fire, it just is dumb.
that. Right?
It's dumb.
It's dumb. To poke the bear.
It
when
really,
the bear
it really
is
puts you
two-time-
behind by the time the
Nas-
game comes.
Yeah. To poke the bear when the bear is the 2-time Super Bowl champion currently. That's dumb. That's real dumb.
Well, he's 3-time Super Bowl champion.
Current reigning champion.
Okay, gotcha. I
Reigning
think you meant
champion.
total. My bad.
Nope, 2-time reigning champion.
But that's really it about football. That's what's bizarre is that like we're talking about stuff that's happening between 2 rivals. That's it.
Yep.
Like that's how
Oh,
boring
it's
the
so
NFL
fun. It's so fun though.
is. But
Smack
baseball.
top.
The last time I looked, baseball Cubs were like 11 games back. Like that's
Yeah,
that's
y'all
how
are
competitive that
struggling.
division is. Like
It
we're
is.
only 6.5 games back from you when you're in second.
Yep. We beat the Nationals last night, but we've been playing poorly against them. So that was
Like we
we're-
just need
we're
one
not hot
good
right now.
We just need one really good month, and we're in the running for playoffs. Like that's really what
That's
you're looking
why
at.
it's so fun. That's why July and August are such a great time, man. You're in the rush to October, and you're looking in, because once you hit September, it's crunch time. Like it's over. Like you've
Crunch
got to
time.
have it all finalized. So
What's that from? What movie is that from?
what's that? Crunch time?
The Breakup with Jennifer Aniston. She goes on that date with that dude that's like a tax preparer. He goes, during tax season, it's crunch time.
It's crunch time.
But no,
Oh,
yeah,
man.
like baseball is pretty. I mean, I think it's good that baseball is the way that it is. That it's pure and like nobody's out until they're out, like
Mm-hmm.
until the very last second. Unless you're
A team-
like the
yep, a
A's,
team
of
can
course,
go hot.
usually, back in the past.
Yeah, right.
But like the A's have done pretty decent here recently, I think. Last I looked, but it's still wild. But really, nothing else to sports except for the Olympics are going on, and I have not been watching any of that. And,
I
see
watched
people posting stuff
basketball
about it.
last night.
You watched basketball?
Not like all of it, but Heather turned on the Olympics when, like, I came home and the Olympics were on, so we sat down and watched it. There was basketball, so we watched that finish, which they played Lebanon, I think. No, that wasn't Lebanon. I don't remember who they played, but they won Serbia. They played Serbia and beat them. Then we watched like table tennis. We watched the American
That's always
Song win that.
It's always
We
fun.
watched a little bit of long distance or something, horse riding,
long distance horse riding.
equestrian. Yeah, but it was
that's
like
the horse
distance
dancing.
equestrian.
Oh
No, not the dressage, right? Isn't that what that's called? This was like long distance running, like hopping fences and jumps and stuff like that.
Okay.
But it's a
Yeah.
path that they have to run.
Yeah.
So
No, but I haven't seen anything go on other than like controversies and stuff, and I just try to. That's so dumb. But I did see that Snoop Dogg ran with the the Olympic torch.
Snoop Dogg
That's
as a
pretty dope.
commentator was fun.
No pun intended. But outside of that, entertainment. What you been watching, bud?
Oh man. Truthfully, not much of anything because we've been working. I did introduce. Oh, you'll be proud of this one. We did a guys' night on Saturday because we're moving on Friday. So I was kind of getting everybody together, just kind of as a one last thing. And so I introduced Casey and some other buddies to Billy Madison.
Ooh. Adam Sandler's
Yeah,
arguably
classic
best buddy.
Adam Sandler. It's just surprisingly inappropriate.
Oh yeah.
I did like there's some lines in there that are just flat out like, oh, those don't land nowadays.
Billy Matt, like I think it was like 94ish, probably 5,
Yeah,
somewhere around there. Like, yeah, that was definitely like when
so good though.
when like just censorship
Oh,
was
Veronica
not even
Vaughn.
thought of. Oh
so
yeah.
hot.
Want to touch
Want
the
to touch
hiney.
the hiney.
I want to annoy you, Miss Vaughn.
Oh,
Great
man.
movie.
Great
I
movie,
actually
so.
started watching. It's such an easy watch just because they're only like 22 minutes long. I found out about Rules of Engagement. Have you ever seen that show?
Yes.
Oh
That's
my! It's so underrated.
fantastic. I love that
Patrick
show.
Patrick Warburton is so
absolutely.
underrated.
David Spade.
Right, but
it's
David
the
Spade
whole-
is still. David Spade is just solid. Like I
No,
I
not
knew about
underrated.
him.
David Spade's fantastic. But I'm
But
saying
Patrick-
like
why doesn't he have his own show? Give
Warburton.
that guy.
He's
good
had
show.
his own shows. They just weren't well written, and so they haven't been successful.
The only thing that bugs
But-
me about him is the way his eyes are. Like, how do you see out of that? Like, but that show is so amazing, so amazing.
I like
him.
him.
It was great.
Yeah, no, Rules of Engagement was really, really well done. We watched that show all the way through and really enjoyed it. Have you ever watched same concept, just go newer, New Girl?
Yeah, I've seen. I think I watched up to the 3rd or 4th season, and then like
Okay.
just stopped watching, and then I'll watch like every now and then I'll watch like episodes
Sure.
if they're on. But like,
But
I
Rules
do-
of
I like that
Engagement was
cast.
really, really good.
I like that cast. But yeah,
Yeah.
Rules of Engagement, like Patrick Warburton is a national treasure, and they need to find something for him quick. I didn't realize how
He's
funny he
done
was.
several things. He just
Yeah, he's a voice
none
of
of
Family
them
Guy.
are like top level stuff. Yeah, I mean, he's Joe on Family Guy. He does.
He did
He's
Ted.
Lemony Snicket in all of the Netflix series. Did you ever read any of those books?
No,
Lemony
that
Snicket's
wasn't
series
my
of
stuff.
Unfortunate Events.
No, but
I
I
never
know
read
about
them
it.
either, but Casey really liked them. And so I read some of them with him, and we watched some of the movies. But there's a whole like series on
Like if
Netflix where
Patrick
he's the
wasn't already
narrator
voiced,
for it.
he would have been a perfect voice for Patrick. Like if it wasn't already voiced.
yeah. But the guy who does Patrick's really funny.
Oh
too.
yeah, he's from Coach. That guy
yeah,
plays Dauber in Coach.
yeah.
But
That's why I recognize him. Thank you.
What? you just now
I
knew
could
that?
not. I remembered that I recognized him, but I couldn't place where I recognized him. I didn't watch Coach consistently. I just remember it, and like the little bit that I saw, I chuckled at. But I remember Coach.
He's also in Young
vividly.
Sheldon.
I remember.
He plays the
oh
cop
yeah,
in Young
Craig T.
Sheldon.
Nelson. Oh yeah, he is the cop.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
He's the corrupt cop. That's right.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Oh man.
But no, I'm just happy
like
that I
him.
found out about Rules of Engagement. Like I never thought that.
yeah.
Like I never knew about it.
Another one along the same vein,
heard that-
underrated, but I think you would like, is Baby Daddy.
I've seen that. You got me to watch that like years ago.
Did I?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
They only had like 3
Good,
seasons
good.
or so.
Yeah, it wasn't long, but it was funny.
Yeah.
It was real funny, and it had
was funny.
Taj Mowry in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you have like is How I Met Your Mother similar to Rules of Engagement?
Weirdly enough, How I Met Your Mother is one that I have not watched, so I wouldn't know.
I just didn't know. I haven't seen it. So but
I haven't watched it
I'm
either.
surprised it took me this long to find Rules of Engagement.
Wow.
Like
So neither of us have seen How I Met Your Mother?
never seen it. I think I might have seen like an
Really?
episode like just in
Yeah,
if
I've
somebody else
seen
was
clips
watching.
of it and stuff like that. Like I could tell you all the characters' names and stuff, but I don't watch
I
the
couldn't
show.
even do that. I knew Neil Patrick Harris is in it.
Okay,
That's it.
I guess I shouldn't say all of them. The Barney, Ted.
I don't know one of them.
Barney is Neil Patrick Harris's character,
Oh, yeah, I don't know the
Barney
names.
Stinson.
Like, that's
and then
one.
Ted is the main character, and
The
then
guy that's telling the story with Bob Saget's
Yeah.
voice.
yeah, and then Yeah, I can't remember the rest of the characters' names, but I've seen enough clips and stuff to know that it looks like a funny show, and I would enjoy probably bits and pieces of it.
Yeah, but
Actually, one that I want to start watching, that I'm planning to start watching, is Modern Family.
I
That's
haven't
one
seen
that
that
looks
either.
hilarious, but
I would
I've
watch
never
it
actually
just for
watched.
the fact that like
Ed
I hear
O'Neill.
that it's just huh.
Ed O'Neill.
Ed O'Neill's, yeah. Well, not just
I was
him,
gonna
but
say you
also
like Ed O'Neill, so
I love Ed O'Neill.
totally would see you.
But I also
watching
think
it
that
for
like
Ed.
it's also like it's a lot like because it tells like story points from like 3 different family views, right? Isn't that what it's supposed to do?
Yes, but they're all in the same family. So
okay.
that's the twist that I didn't realize that makes
I didn't
all
know
of
that
it
either.
make more sense.
Okay.
It's 3 different family types because
Gotcha.
you've got the dad. He's got 2 older kids who are married and have their own families,
Mm-hmm.
and then
He marries a woman who has a
himself
kid.
is married and she has a kid. And so his son is gay and has a relationship with Eric Stone Street.
Oh, okay.
And
Eric
then
Stone Street's
his-
another reason why I would watch it.
Oh my gosh, yeah, Eric Stone Street's hilarious and like
the biggest Chiefs fan ever.
Yes, he is, and he's funny too. So, like, even just like what I've seen him play in that role, like it's very good. And then the daughter is married, has the husband and the 2 kids.
Okay. Yeah, I just
And
have
so
never seen
they're
it
Ed
either.
O'Neill's. They're Ed O'Neill's kids.
I'm not saying that I wouldn't start watching it. I don't think that I've seen it come across any of my feeds
I've
either.
watched 2, maybe 1.5, 2 episodes, and it's funny. I think it's going to be one of those shows where you got to watch it for a season to really fall in love with all the characters and stuff. Because it's not like, oh my gosh, this is the greatest show, but it's definitely one of those ones that it was on for a long time, and you can tell that people fell in love with the characters. So
Right.
you can tell it's not going to take that long.
Right.
So
Now, one that I did find that it's pretty good. Did you like Monk growing up? Like watching Monk?
I did not.
Okay, so
He was
this is
annoying
like
to me.
he was okay. So if he was annoying, you might like this one since this isn't like the I guess the premise of the show is based upon like the same idea. Only it's called Elsbeth. It's about a woman. It's a woman that's like I think she's like a DA that becomes like an assistant for a police department to help solve murders and stuff. So like she's got that detective sense of like reading people and like how they talk and stuff like that. So it's kind of like it's kind of like what was that one where he could like Psych meets Monk
Psych,
almost.
yeah, baby.
So like if you take
Psych was good. Psych was my preferred.
So if you take Monk's OCD out of it, you're going to have more of a psych point of view with a woman involved rather than man.
Okay.
That's really all it is.
Intriguing.
It's all right. It's pretty good. But actually, what's funny is that I just found out that I was still signed in to watch, like how I was watching Ted Lasso under your account. We were still signed in, and I started watching it. Me and Jamie finished a show on there called A Presumed Innocent with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh yeah,
Holy
I've seen ads for that. Is it good?
Not at all what I expected. Pretty intense.
So good?
Pretty intense. Yeah, it's good. It's really good.
Okay. If you want a fun, a good story, it's sci-fi, but it's still a good story. Silo is one on there that I think you might like.
I saw that on there, but I haven't seen it yet.
It's good. So I need to check out Presumed Innocent. That's good to know.
Yeah. And then one that I'm excited about. Oh, go ahead.
We did go to the theaters.
Did you watch Twisters?
No, we didn't see Twisters.
What
I did go see Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen it.
And it was wonderful. Wonderful. So many great cameos.
With them. I watched the first 2.
So much heart fulfillment as a comic book nerd, as somebody who's followed the story of Fox and it being bought out by Disney and all the changes that happened. Like, there's so much fulfillment. Let me put it this way. There's something that happens in Deadpool and Wolverine that you, me, and Jordan used to talk about way back in the early days.
Huh.
And it was something we talked about. Jordan was actually pretty excited about it, and which is weird because he wasn't really like super into Marvel movies, was he?
I don't know if he is or not. Like, but Jordan's also like weird because like he somehow along the lines got into Harry Potter. He also somewhere
I
along the
know. I
line got
love
into
that. I
like
love
those
that.
like things that I would never like. To me, Jordan would find that stuff annoying. Like,
He would if he didn't have me for a best friend.
but it wasn't you
who's-
that got him involved in it. It was Christina and her
No,
kids.
but he's been around my nerdiness long enough that it soaks in.
No,
I picked up some of his cool.
what?
I don't know. I was
Oh,
just
his
saying
cool.
it.
Oh, I thought you were meaning like something that he does. Okay, I get what you mean
No,
now.
I was just saying it. I think I'm cool.
I just thought it was funny how he just like he bought the Harry Potter game and he was like a level 3000 and you were like still on 10 or something. It was like, how are you ahead of Josh right now on that game?
He wasn't for long. I finished that game.
But no, I liked the two Deadpools. Like they were fine. Like they were funny. Like I wouldn't say that I could say that they were my favorite just because I'm not into that, obviously. But I'm sure that if I like Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds is just an amazing actor.
He's hilarious.
So.
Yep.
But one that I am excited about that I don't think that I think I'm only seeing it on my phone. Like I haven't seen it on any type of like review on or like an ad on TV or nothing. And that's M. Night Shyamalan's new movie, Trap.
Yes. Trap looks good.
Not
man.
at all like something that he's
the
done.
moment I started seeing ads for that, I was like, "This looks good.
It looks
This is real good."
It's almost like nerve wracking. Like just watching the preview for it, I was like, "What is going on?"
Josh Hartnett is
Underrated.
one of those actors who I'm glad he's getting a second run.
Right.
Because I loved him as an actor. I thought he was always very charming, but very like good actor.
Well,
like
sells early
it.
on,
sells his
early
character.
2000s, but like he didn't get the pop that I don't think he deserved. Like he had good roles, but
he did a lot of rom-coms and then ultimately
he kind of Matthew McConaughey in his early coming up.
Yeah, but Matthew McConaughey found like a new like identity. Like even in the rom-coms, he was still like leading man vibe. And Josh Hartnett kind of gave up his leading man element. He had it and then kind of stepped away from it. It feels like.
Well, because I haven't seen a movie coming out with him in it in a long time. Like at least one that I would be interested in seeing rather than just going with my wife to see it.
I've seen a couple of things. And interestingly enough, he had a small little role in a Kevin Hart comedy.
Which one?
Die Hard.
I like Die Hard. That was pretty fun.
Yeah. Do you remember?
I don't remember
he has that small little cameo.
With when
not cameo, but he's like it's a small little role where like
because John Travolta is his trainer in that movie. Like it's a very weird like
and Josh Hartnett's like trying to save him.
Oh, that's right. No. He's well, like he gets they use him as the way to get out to like towards the end of the movie to like get out of the okay. I wonder if he's in the second one then because I haven't seen all the second one all the way through yet.
I haven't watched the second one at all. So
yeah,
but
that's
no,
when I am excited.
It was interesting to see Josh Hartnett. I was like, I haven't seen him in forever.
Right.
And then now seeing him in Trap, and I'm like, heck yes, dude. And this looks so intense.
And they're
using
apparently he's bringing comedy into this one.
They're going to use thriller really well in this. Interesting fact: the singer in this, as has been featured in other of his films, is his daughter.
Oh, the woman that's singing.
M. Night Shyamalan's daughter is featured. She is the singer.
The concert that they're at or whatever it is.
Yep.
Okay.
She's been featured in other
movies.
It looks good.
Yeah. It's almost trippy to me because like it kind of gives me the Split vibe. Like I love Split. That was so good.
His movies over the past few years have definitely had an uptick in recreating the tense.
The only one I didn't like was the one about the cat, the Knock at the Cabin. That I couldn't.
Yeah, Knock at the Cabin was a little far-fetched.
Yeah, it was just like they didn't give me enough information early on enough to keep me involved or intrigued with it.
They didn't give you enough to become emotionally invested. Either side is the problem.
that and to watch
And
Dave
so,
Bautista do that
and the
stuff
real
was kind of weird.
lesson, I know, and the real lesson to it is what, that like deep love has to conquer. It was
It's very
it
weird.
was shoddy. It was shoddy messaging is the problem. Trap looks like it could be
Yeah,
good, but
it looks
Split,
insane.
Glass, both of those were really good.
I would say I have to say out of all three of those, has to be Split for me, just because
Split.
of the way that he changed his
Well, and
persona in
Split
that
was
movie.
a completely different movie, and only at the end did we realize it was connected. That's what made Split so good, is he wrote it as if it could be its own independent movie.
And he actually played homage to it at the end of Unbreakable.
And freaking McAvoy, man.
Did you see that?
What an actor.
When was the last time you watched Unbreakable?
It's been a while.
Okay, because like I didn't realize it until like I went back and watched it, because I watched it because I heard rumors that it was supposed to be a part of each other. This was after it came out.
Sure.
I watched Unbreakable, and at the very end of Unbreakable is where they lead into Split, like the pot, like what it's gonna like. I guess where it's gonna take place at the zoo, not necessarily like what it's gonna be about. But he's sitting in the diner looking up at the TV, and they had a crazy stuff going on at the zoo, and then that's when he's looking up at the screen. That's when Bruce Willis looks up at it. It's pretty weird.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
At the very end of Unbreakable, they lead into something happening at the zoo in that city.
Interesting.
Pretty wild.
But so here's my question for you. Of these two actors, who would you hire first for a dramatic movie?
A dramatic movie.
Yep. James McAvoy or Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Oh, Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Oh, man.
I know, right?
Joseph Gordon-Levitt. See, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, like, this is the reason why I say this is because he plays on. If you had a line of a spectrum of characters that he's played, he's done everyone so well.
I know.
Like, we knew him.
I
as
know
a
this
kid
is
in
a hard question. That's why
Angels
I
in
asked
the
it,
Outfield.
bro.
Angels
Heck
in the
yeah,
Outfield
baby.
was the first time we got introduced to Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and
Yep.
then probably what was it? 15 years later is when he made his next big debut of a movie. Not necessarily his next movie, but his big role, and that would be what was that movie? Was it the one where he's like addicted to porn or whatever? I forgot the name of it.
Don Juan or whatever. Don John or whatever.
Don John. Yeah, it was Don John. Like, that was a little weird for me. Like, I wasn't into that movie at all.
It was a character piece and it wasn't good.
And then
But he
you
still
see
played
him-
it. I mean,
Looper by itself.
Looper was good.
Man, I'm gonna have to say
Joseph
just
Gordon-Levitt has
Gordon-Levitt.
played a lot of really good roles,
And
but so is McAvoy.
McAvoy, like, he's almost got like a really okay. I would say that he has mastered the, like, he's able to change like his, I guess, identity in a movie very well.
Split is all the evidence you need that he is a top tier actor because he plays 23 different characters
And we see
in Split.
did we see all 23 of them?
I believe so. I believe at some point in the movie, all 23 personalities represent.
And that by itself was,
It's insane.
you don't.
It's
I don't think
insane
you'd
the way
ever
he
see
plays
again.
that. No, it's incredible. So that's some good.
Wasn't he in
there's
the?
some
Wasn't
good
he?
art out
Was he
there.
in like The Giver or something like that? Some weird like it was a book to movie, or a movie based on a book. Not The Giver. It
I've
was like,
seen.
it's where he had long hair. It was like a bowl cut, split in the middle. It's been a while. Like, he's been in a few sci-fi movies, I think, hasn't he?
Now you're killing me. I've seen The Giver. I think. Now I don't know.
It's not The
killing me,
Giver. It's not The
Smalls.
Giver. Now that I
No,
say that,
it's not.
it's not The Giver. But what I'm saying is, like, he has been in movies. He's just not been in as many movies that we probably know of, like that, at least that
True.
I've ever seen. But
Yeah.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt is, I would say, I think probably why we lean more towards him is because we saw where he began, like
Mhm.
Angels in the Outfield, and so
Dude's been in our hearts for years.
I would say both of them are
Great
overlooked.
choices all around.
But
I
Looper,
don't know, man. They're both
well, I'm saying,
pretty.
like you wouldn't like Joseph Gordon-Levitt just got his it did an amazing job in Beverly Hills Cop, the newest one. Like that's
Oh my gosh, yeah.
like I don't know. It's just I don't know. They're
I would say
in
they're
this-
so steady and so like regular that they're not your first
The
thought of
only-
when you think of lead guys because they don't do a ton of lead roles because they don't need to.
right.
They're just solid actors who can build other ones up.
Now here's one. Have we seen Joseph Gordon-Levitt play a creepy guy? That's one role we haven't seen.
Yes.
Yet. I haven't maybe. Maybe I
Um,
haven't seen that movie where he plays like a. I guess Don John's pretty creepy, but like I'm saying, like
yeah, but not the same kind
Yeah.
of stalker type.
psychological thriller type character. Maybe if we see Joseph Gordon-Levitt play a really good serial killer, we might lean towards.
Dude, could you imagine? Joseph Gordon-Levitt would make a really good.
He plays a lot of like law enforcement roles sometimes, or like
His
I guess
role
really.
in Knives Out is pretty good.
I haven't seen Knives Out. That's
Oh,
where like
really?
they're on an
You should
island,
watch
isn't it?
that.
Isn't that where they're like
No.
on an island?
Is that? Oh, yeah, it is. Never mind. That's not what I was thinking of. I was thinking of Glass Onion. It was a different movie, and he's not in that. So, but
I don't know. I think that they're both solid choices for any type of role, probably.
for sure.
But hey, bud, I'm glad we were able to record episode 71.
Me too. Me too. So give us a little grace. This may be the last episode for a little bit, just because
So you
we're
get on your
moving.
feet. But Daniel
Yep.
said that he might dip his toe back in the water on
Good, that'd be
weeks
fun.
that he can come over. So
If not, then you can expect to probably start hearing from us maybe by early September. That's my goal. So once we get into the rental, I can get
and I've got
everything set
3
back up.
scheduled episodes for the Recess Ruckus coming up. So like that'll help
Good.
out. So I got those scheduled. So
Good,
that'll be
good,
fun.
good. All right.
And don't forget about Bumping Chops. Go follow HCW on all of our
Yes.
social medias and Rage Beef
Absolutely.
Jerky. And don't forget to hit that like
Get your
button.
jerky on.
Leave a comment. Let us know what your top 10 fast food chains would be, because the USA Today's is a joke.
It is. Only about a third of it was even worthwhile.
Yeah. And let us know
So.
if you like the system of which we vote in. Like,
Hmm.
do you think
Yeah,
our...
you get a little political with us. I don't mind.
Well, no, it didn't even have to be political. Do you like the system? Like, do you believe in the system of voting for the United States president? There you go. Yes or no. And then if not, tell
Okay.
us why. Yeah, have fun with it. But no, bud, I love you. And love all
Love
of
it too,
you.
man.
But
We love you
we'll see you
so,
next
so
time.
much.
Bye.
Bye.